Good day, everyone. We're here at the Postgraduate Institute of Management, where the AMDISA 2016 Executive Council meeting and regional conference is currently underway. It is hosted by the Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jayewardenepura, along with the Institute of Certified Professional Managers here in Sri Lanka. Joining us now is Professor G.S. Batra. He is the head and dean of the Faculty of Business Studies of the Punjabi University in India. Welcome to our program.
Thank you.
Dr. Batra has a certificate of business administration and postdoctoral from the University of Illinois in the US. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience in this field?
I have been in teaching profession and since last about 35 years. And after having done basic schooling from India and then having postdoctoral and major studies from US and in National University of Singapore, University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur. I find that South Asia on the whole needs to align with the developments at the world level. There are so many gaps in the education sector, and there are the research and developmental issues, there are the issues relating to academic leadership, and I think over a period of time, though number of students going at the world level are increasing manifold, and South Asia needs to attract all those students or retain all those students, so that instead of going at the world level, they are able to stay back in the country. It means we need to strengthen our educational institution in the South Asia, basically, right? So, though I am a member of a large number of international networks, attended number of events, and have done research work on different projects published at the world level, right? So, what I find is that research capability of the students need to be developed in a bigger way. Need to create a proper research environment in the educational institutions so that our students, they get the better openings, our faculty gets the more grants and more opportunities at the world level, basically.
All right. You have been an AMDISA Commonwealth Fellow for many years, and you have been attending these conferences for a while now. What do you see as the outcome of these conferences?
The basic purpose of this event is to promote networking at the regional level in the South Asian countries, so that out of international networking and collaborations we are able to gain a lot. We have people from different countries attending this event, and we have discussed with different faculty members, the heads and deans, about the opportunities of collaboration at the world level, right? Not only within our own country, but with some of the universities from Pakistan, from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, and from Maldives and other countries, right? So I think the outcome of this event is certainly going to be positive. We will be able to identify certain gaps and will be able to work out certain strategies so as to adjust according to the changing circumstances and to have the better management of our resources, faculty, and the students, and so on.
All right. And how do you see the education system in India? Sort of, where are the gaps? Have they been identified, and is there any policy that's being made to address them?
You see that education system in India is, of course, it has improved over a period of time, but at the same time there is a mass education. There are a large number of educational institutions in the management field, in the engineering colleges, and the other areas have also come up, right? So it means we need to restrict the education for everyone, right? So there is mass education. There are so many educational institutions, and large number of students are able to get admissions, but even they are not able to, you can say, deliver. So it means that the employability is one of the question mark. Large number of students coming out, even Ministry of HRD also agreed with this, that the students coming out of engineering colleges or management institutions, like maybe more than 50% of the students are not employable. It means it's a big question mark that how can we improve our educational infrastructure in this way so that more skill building is assured. The market of today has got changed. A student needs to be very smart. He needs to have very good communication skills, some soft skills, technical skills, industry internships. So of course I think we have the market-driven economy in India and at the world level, and the institutions which are not quality cautious, they are automatically closed down. And now rankings are available, accreditations are there, and the students certainly go to the places where they get the better opportunities. Hence, I think in India the scene is changing very fast. At one time there were large number of institutions were set up, and since there is a gap between the demand and supply, because of that number of institutions came up. But with the passage of time, with the coming of foreign players in the country, with the more institutions have come up, government has established more Indian institutes of management, central universities, more state universities have come up, which are discharging their social responsibilities. So the number of players are restructuring themselves to cope with these challenges.
All right. The theme of this year's AMDISA 2016 conference is management development through international networking and collaborations. From your point of view, how important is this in terms of developing management?
This is utmost relevant question. I think we cannot stay in the market in isolation. So different institutions need to have networking within their own country. And say suppose a small institution is set up, it requires mentoring. And then at the national level, networking is also required, then there is a need for international networking. Because we keep on learning through the experiences of other educational institutions, and how can we cope up with the different problems which we particularly face in our own educational institution or in our own country. I had opportunity of international teaching in South Pacific countries like Fiji and Samoa and Kingdom of Tonga and so on. I think the experience which I had there, and we are trying to adopt some of these experiences in our own country. We have started with some new programs like twinning programs. Students spend 1 year in India and 1 year in other countries of world. In this way, by having a different type of networking, different type of such collaborations, we can gain a lot. Because otherwise, in case we don't allow the new faculty or the international guest faculty to come, so there will be, you can say, we will not be promoting innovations in the education institution. So in order to promote more innovation, in order to promote more learning environment, we need to send our students at the world level, and we need to invite people from the world level to our educational institution. So I think this is of utmost important to improve the different skills of the students, to better employ them, and to promote a learning environment for them as such.
All right. As the head and dean of the Faculty of Business Studies, what are your views on how do you see the corporate sector collaborating with the universities in India?
I think there is a lot of gap in this regard, that the industry institute partnership, industry institute collaborations are missing a lot. And of course, but in our education institution, we got a grant from Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, for promoting entrepreneurship development activity. So we need to develop students not only for the jobs, but for entrepreneurship, so that they start their own activities. In this way, we can train the managers, we can train the industry people also. So our job is not only to provide the teaching facility or the research facilities. The educational institution, management institution need to provide more consultancy, more management development, and more training activities. We need to have certain projects which are more industry oriented. I think the educational institutions needs to be restructured so as to provide the live projects to the students, to have the more industry-oriented projects. I think these are some of the gaps which need to be overcome in this regard. Of course, we are trying our best in our own university by establishing more industry institute interface. We invite different CEOs, and they share their experiences, and the students can learn, the student go outside for the different projects.
All right. What are the key industries in Patiala?
So in Punjab area, which is in the North India, so we have the key industries are the engineering tool, we have got the hosiery industry, we have got some IT industry in Chandigarh area, in Mohali, we have got so many such industry. Besides, there are some small units have come up, which are the agro-based industries, which are producing rice shellers are there, which are producing quality rice, which are being exported at the world level. And besides this, small engineering tools are also being produced, bicycle production, and there are some village industries have also come up in order to promote employment at the village level. There are some food processing units are there. So some of our students have established their own beverages units, or food processing units have also been set up. I think industrial environment is very much important in order to place the students, in order to provide them the live projects. But the government policies need to be more positive on this front, so that the students are able to establish their industries without any much difficulty. The single window schemes, industrial incentives, these are need of the hour. The simple taxation, the ease of doing business, which is gaining much more importance at the world level. I think India is also trying its best to reduce the number of difficulties faced by the entrepreneurs in order to open up the industrial units in this regard.
All right. And have you seen any major shifts in sort of industry focus over the years?
Industry shifts in?
Within industry. So have there been any sort of from one sector to another?
Yes, there have been major changes in the industrial sector. So the IT sector and the electronic sector is taking the front seat, and some of the industries which have lost importance are relating to some of the ready-made garments industry, and so of course the hosiery industry is now taking back seat because of the more competition which is taking place at the world level. So the industries need to be more cost cautious, cost management, quality cautiousness is at most important. So as a result of this, the entrepreneurs are shifting from one area to another area. They are having the synergetic advantage. The service sector is growing in a bigger way. More importantly, in the communication sector, the education sector, the more transport sector, entertainment sector, these type of service industries are coming because of the difficulties which we face in the manufacturing sector. So there has been a shift in this regard. A large number of IT industries have come in a big way. There are the BPO units, there are the call centers are there. So I think this is need of the hour, and in case your product mix does not work, it's better to change and to start the new units. I think this is a positive development in India.
Right. And from the students that come out of the Faculty of Business, do you see them moving abroad, or are they sort of remaining in the region?
Actually, the students are largely those who complete their graduation. Some of them, they go to different countries of world for their higher education, for doing their PhD, or for we got a twinning program with Wilkes University in US. Students spend 1 year in India in their MBA program, 1 year they spend abroad. But the students, those who complete their MBA from us, they are of course employed in the corporate sector. They get jobs in the government sector institutions. They have to compete with the competitive exams which are held from time to time in the banking, industry, insurance sector. There are large number of private sector banks have come up in India. So the students get a very good opportunity of working in the banking, insurance, financial service sector, in the mobile companies, in the infrastructure sector companies. So almost 50% of the students are directly placed with an intake of about 200 students in our campus. So 50% of students are placed in that way, and then another 20% they are able to get jobs in the government sector on their own. And some of the students then they go for the higher education. In this way, the placement issue is more attached with the skill development of the students. Students need to make their own efforts. They need to improve their, one of the gap in South Asia has been the communication skills, cultural adjustment at the world level, and the development of certain soft skills in terms of the flexibility to adjust, in terms of certain technical skills, knowing about the more softwares also, right? Data analyzing and these type of techniques they should know. So they need to develop a problem solving approach. I think where mostly the South Asian students lag. Another thing I would like to mention is when the students go abroad, they spend a lot of money in Western countries and so on. Everything in the world is now counted in terms of return on investment. Right? How much return you get when a child goes abroad from Sri Lanka, from India. In case we replicate all those conditions within our own region in Sri Lanka and within South Asia, and then the students can study here, they can study with their own culture, and the cost of education comes down, they can get a better job opportunity. Because some of the model, we need to develop our own model of management, our own model of development, so that we serve South Asian society in a much better way.
All right. And what are some of the strengths of the education system here in South Asia that you have noticed?
I think this is also a very relevant question. When the students, especially I think upbringing is very important, right? When a student gets the basic education, our value system, which we have in the like in South Asian countries, and staying with the parents and the joint families, and then secondly getting the basic education in South Asia where we have more focus on English, on mathematics, on science. It helps in developing the scientific temper, in the reasoning ability, in the logical ability, right? So this is the plus point. But of late, there are so many good educational institutions have come up, and which are, of course, cost conscious. Students are able to afford also, and they got better opportunities, and working where the teacher-student ratio is very good. Where in some of the educational institutions, you can work closely with the teacher concerned. There is a better learning, and you don't have that level of cultural shock when you go at the world level, right? So which is one of the plus point in working in the South Asia. And there is opportunity of learning from each other. And of course, this is yet an exploited market. So the opportunities of working here, getting the more job opportunities in this part of world. So this is also a plus point. And I think South Asia has a lot of intellectual capital, which is one of the plus points. South Asians are working at the world level, and I think when they get their experiences at the world level, they can come back and how to develop our own resources. In this way, we need to encourage people, the diaspora, the Sri Lankans settled abroad, Indians settled abroad. In case we provide them better facilities, they come back, they help in development of our education sector, they come here as a faculty and develop our students and so on. So there are some of the strengths of our South Asian education system are certainly there.
All right. And do you have any special plans for the Faculty of Business Studies at the Punjab University going forward?
Yes. We keep on organizing some research methodology workshops. Actually, research is one such area where like you can say South Asia is lacking. The number of publications made by the faculty at the world level are less. In the graded journals where the impact factor is very high, it is because of the lack of research training. They are not able to get the knowledge of good research tools, good softwares. So we keep on organizing such workshops for the students, for the research scholars, and some softwares are used. We developed recently a program known as Business Analytics Program, which is the business problems are solved with the help of different softwares. We have made it as a compulsory course in our MBA program, and anyone else who is interested, we have developed a certificate course in business analytics also. In that way, this is one such area. Then there are the regularly faculty development programs are organized, so that we do a mentoring role. We develop not only the faculty of our own campus, the faculty of affiliate institutions of our campus and all over the country. Thirdly, in order to promote the entrepreneurship, we keep on organizing some entrepreneurship programs so that students are motivated to start their own business instead of looking for the jobs, and so they can work, and that is more satisfying, that is more innovative. I think this aspect is largely missing in South Asia, whereby entrepreneurship development culture is altogether missing, whereby in US and other countries people don't work as an employee whole life, right? They work for 5 years, then they start their own business and they experiment with the ideas, and in this way they are more successful. This is more satisfying in the sense that when you are an entrepreneur, then you provide job opportunities to others. You are a job creator than the job seekers. So that type of entrepreneurship culture and entrepreneurship incentives, these needs to be given. Some of the educational institutions are what they are doing. They ask the student, in case they are interested, let them start their own units. And in case they are a failure, then they provide them another opportunity to come for the placement, and so that they will be providing the placement opportunity to them in case of any failure they face. Otherwise, as per the placement regulations or placement rules, only the fresh students, those who are passing out, they will be getting the placement. The stale students will not get the placement, right? So in that, I think this is one option is given by some educational institutions in this regard. And more such efforts are needed at the South Asia level. We have the ecology, we have the very good environment, we have got the infrastructure available. So these are the things which are need of the.
How conducive is it for, say, an entrepreneur in your region to actually set up business in terms of finding the capital necessary, etc.?
In order to set up a business enterprise, the capital and acquiring the skilled manpower and the local resources, getting the approvals, these are very important. In this regard, though different state governments have set up their single window clearance schemes, so that there is ease of doing business, and for getting an electricity connection or for any industrial projects or land, there are not much difficulties involved. So in that way, the government is alive to this problem, so that we are able to attract the investors from the other countries and from the national level. Some of our students have set up their units, which are beverages units. They are engaged in producing the cut flowers or in the mushroom business, and some such other such big businesses have also been set up by them, right? So the initial level, there are the difficulties since entrepreneurs are not having that level of experience. So it's better for the students to acquire, say, experience for 1 or 2 years by working for others, so that they have the real life experience, and then they may, by identifying certain needs and the gaps, they are able to set up their own units. So I think governments are now trying to give more tax incentives, more industrial incentives, so that more and more people come up in this regard. We need to, at South Asia level, we need to restructure our education system to promote more entrepreneurship development. So in this regard, whether a student is going to be an engineer or a doctor or a manager, so we need to have more choice to be given to the student which course he wants to study. So there could be some compulsory courses, and then there are the optional elective courses. If a student wants to study certain courses like entrepreneurship or like you can say economics or the other programs which are related to different other areas, the student should have more choice. In this regard, though initial efforts are being made at the South Asia level, but these need to be deepened more, so that when we are producing an engineer, so we are not making him as a robot that he is only working for computers and working on computers. let him study about more of the management, communication skills, let him study more about the religion, society, so that he is closely able to link himself with the society at large. So by providing more basket of courses, so then in this way he'll have the integrated development of his own personality. I think when the East is going to the West and West is going to the East, it is hoped that light will come from the East. So South Asia has a lot of opportunities in this regard.
All right, thank you so much. And on that note, thank you for sharing your very valuable thoughts with us here today.
Thank you so much to PIM. Thank you to Sri Lanka for hosting this event, and it has been a great experience, and we'll keep on coming time and again, and thanks to your channel for airing.
Thank you.